Ooh, what's going on, everybody? Out here in the building, it's done got cold. It's fucking wintertime. It dropped fast here. It went from being like 50 or 60 to down in the 30s. Whew. Anyway, got a big game this weekend. The old Texas Longhorns coming to town. It'll be a 7:30 game. 7:30 kickoff. Starting probably really about 7:40 kickoff. It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold in Athens Saturday night. I say it's going to be, it might warm up a little bit Thursday and Friday, but Saturday night it's probably going to be down. I'd say the high 30s, low 40s. It's going to be a chilly game. I hope the old Texas Longhorns, I hope they're ready because we're going to take it to them. I was looking at some statistics and in the country right now, in overall efficiency, UGA is ranked number 4. In Texas, they're way on down there. They're like number 50. Texas A&M's like number 13, I think, 14. Alabama's like 20. But what caught my eye was offense. As of right now, UGA is ranked number 2 in the country in overall offense efficiency. So not yards, not touchdowns, not how many rushing yards, did Gunner throw for 500 yards? No, this is efficiency. How well can Georgia move the football? And I think we got 30 first downs against Mississippi State last week. Defense is a different story now, and this is why we're not ranked number 1 and why we're not really ranked number 1 in the country, I guess, because we lost to Alabama. But getting back to the efficiency, we're ranked number 27th in defense. In comparison, Texas A&M and Alabama, their defense is in the low, it's low. It's like 10, 11, 8, stuff like that. But if Georgia was just a little bit higher on defense, like say we were ranked 20th or 15th, we would be ranked number 1 in efficiency out of all college football teams. So I'm looking this Saturday night to take it fast to Texas. Meaning every time we get the ball, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Archie and Texas, they're going to get their points. They're going to get their points and they're going to get their scores. The point is we need to score every time we have the football. A complete pivotal shift in mindset from the championship years a few years ago when we won with defense. Now this year will be won by complete and extreme offensive efficiency and being able to outscore the other football team. It just comes down to that. If it's a shootout, it's a shootout. I don't think Texas can go pound for pound like Tennessee could. And, Alabama, our defense was, if you had to say our defense has climbed, being ranked number 27th, people would say, oh man, that's 27th. Yeah, we were like at 100th on defense probably after the Alabama game. Our 4th or 5th game in, we were probably ranked 70th to 100th in defense. We did have one of the worst defenses in the country. It's slowly getting better, though. It's moved in from being one of the worst to a mid-tier to mid to high tier. It's not good, or it's not great, and it's not elite. The offense is elite. That's what I'm saying. It's a complete shift in the way the team is going to run, basically. How I said at the start of the year we were going to line up and we were going to dominate and run the clock and blah, blah, blah. That's out the window now. We cannot play like that. We have to play like every time we get the ball, we need to score a touchdown. Not 3 points, not a field goal, a touchdown. 7 points every time. I think we can do it because of Gunner Stockton and just the grit that this team has, the offense has. I think the Dawgs can do it. And the defense will get better, slowly getting better. Slowly but surely getting better. Yeah, I do want to see the defense play a lot better against Texas. Texas is a good football team, and trust me, it's a game that everybody's circled. But in these past few weeks, pretty much this year, Texas has not lived up to the hype that everybody thought. So now I'm more worried about Georgia Tech. Even though Tech lost, that could be their game plan. Go ahead and get the loss out of the way. They do it all the time in the pros or in the NFL. I don't think that's what happened. I think they had a mental lapse or whatever. They're in the same boat too. If they play a team, or they're kind of like Texas or whatever, we just have to score more than them, basically. And then when we get to the playoff, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Indiana, Alabama again, depending on how they turn out, them will be the teams where we will need defensive play in them games. But for these next 3 games, the rest of the season, our offense is going to have to get it done. Like I said, they're the number two in the country when it comes to efficiency, scoring. It's time to go out there and bump it up number 1 and prove it. Gunner just needs to keep killing it. I don't think they'll give him the Heisman, but he deserves it. He'll deserve it just like Stetson Bennett did. So that's all I have to say about that. They usually don't give it to the person that deserves it. They usually give it to the person who they think in their mind will garner the most interviews and the most publicity. I truly do believe that. That's how it was last year. Like that boy from Boise State, like the best running back in college has seen, and since Herschel Walker or some shit. It's been a long since Reggie Bush. It's been a long time, but he wasn't popular, was he? He's from Boise State. He wasn't popular, so they gave it to the other boy. What irked me was the Boise State, just like Stetson Bennett, the Boise State player was the only player when they went to when they handed out the trophy or whatever, the ceremony, I guess you'd call it. He was the only one that was wearing his Letterman jacket, repping his university. All the others were wearing, suits and tuxedos. And that, I say Stetson did it, and then that running back from Boise State did it. And it's like, yeah, them are the ones that deserve it, right? The ones that actually care about their university, care about the school they went to. But no, let's give it to the quarterback. Let's give it to whoever they gave it to. I don't even remember who won the Heisman last year. I really don't care. But yeah, I kind of veered off on that because Gunner is in that talk for the Heisman. He just needs to keep getting it done. Keep churning that offense. That's what last week it looked like the offense is finally starting to get the tight ends incorporated. It's finally starting to come together. Defense is getting better slowly. But yeah, Texas is going to have a game for them. And us Georgia fans, we don't forget last year how unwelcoming Texas fans were to us UGA fans. Well, come to find out, they do that every week, or they do that every time. Well, yeah, that's because they're a shit college. Like, fuck them. They deserve to lose. Archie deserves that. The University of Georgia, which, if you watch sports shows, they've talked about this, or you watch Kirby's interviews, they asked Kirby about this. Yeah, Georgia heavily recruited Archie Manning. I still have photos or like screenshots saved on my phone from years ago when we were recruiting them, and I was like, getting excited about it. Like, oh shit, dude, we're going to get fucking Archie Manning. Thank God we didn't. Thank God we got Gunner. But who knows though, right? Man, if Archie would have came to Georgia, Bobo would have had him ready. Bobo would have prepared him just like he's prepared Gunner Stockton. The thing is, people say, well, what about Carson? Carson didn't want to fucking learn. Carson, his fucking ego is so goddamn big that outweighs anything that anybody wants to tell him. He'll go on and play in the NFL, Carson will. He'll play for a couple seasons, and everybody will look back and be like, wow, he was kind of like, he was all right, but he wasn't a great. And that's all right with Carson. That's what always irked me. The smiling after we lost to Ole Miss. He ain't a real football. He don't want it. He don't want it. Unlike Gunner Stockton, who Gunner said in interviews before the season started, we're at the University of Georgia. If we got a chance to go win the national championship, we're going to go win it. And that's what I'm saying. People, they want, all these weeks, they've been wanting us to lose, wanting Georgia to just go away, basically. Just go away, fall away into, this ain't y'all's year, whatever. Gunner ain't a real quarterback, blah, 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 They're all eating their fucking words now. They're scared shitless, I bet. If I was Alabama fans, I'd be scared shitless. Because our defense was terrible, horrific. Our offense was barely even getting going. What's going to be this second time? The second go around, motherfuckers. This is right where I want this Georgia football team at. In fucking November, December. The team's finally coming together. Dangerous football team. Scary football team. Ohio State, all of them. All the teams in front of us and behind us should be terrified of Georgia. Because they know that the defense can only go up. It can't go down. And they know, okay, every week, Kirby, there's videos every week. I don't even post them because I would be posting like video after video of Kirby screaming at the practices, he's trying to get this defense in line. It's like, there's a point, though, it gets to it that if you don't, like I said before the football season started, you either got it or you don't. You either practiced in the offseason, you either fine-tuned your craft, or you're fucked. Because Kirby and Georgia is such a good football program, we have been able to weather it. But other programs, LSU, Florida, you name them. Even Miami's starting to kind of dwell into the teams that, everybody, they hyped them up, but they just couldn't finish. They didn't condition themselves, and more importantly, they didn't fundamentally get right. That's what Carson Beck, he's not fundamentally right. It was great when they won, and he could blame Georgia, this is the first time I love football again, and I just didn't love football at Georgia, blah, 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 all that bullshit he said. Last week, he was fucking cussing out his coaches and players, saying that they're not calling the right plays, blah, blah, blah. He didn't have the balls to say that when he was at Georgia. He didn't have the balls. Kirby would have fucking wrung his neck himself. God damn. It's ridiculous. We dodged a bullet with that motherfucker because Carson Beck could have easily been our quarterback this year. Easily. He left because he got tired of not being able to be a fucking diva queen, I guess. I had bad feelings about him from the get-go. I found out he was from South Florida, grew up in Florida his whole life. And this goes back to when it was Carson Beck and Brock Vandergriff. I guess Gunner was in that, but it was really Brock Vandergriff and Carson Beck. They were competing to be the quarterback for UGA. Carson Beck won. I always believe, and I guess I was right, and I hate being right, but I was right that Brock Vandergriff should have been our quarterback, and Carson Beck should have went on down the road. And that's what he did anyway. In the long run, I was right anyway, which I knew I was right all along. It's Carson Beck. He fit all the parameters, right? He's tall, lengthy, NFL-sized quarterback, You have to be able to run in college. I don't know if you really have to be able to run that much in the NFL if you're like Tom Brady-esque, good at throwing the ball. But in college, you got to be able to run it, like at least a little bit. Carson Beck cannot run at all, so that's his downfall, is he can't get away from pressure. Yeah, okay, we're not asking, and this is what I told Georgia fans. They were like, what, you're expecting him to, break it for a 40-yard run like Stetson Bennett? I said, no. I would tell these Georgia fans, no, I don't want him to run for a 40-yard, run play like he ain't Stetson Bennett. He ain't. But he has to be fast enough that when the play breaks down and there's 3 or 4 linebackers chasing after his ass and he has to get away just enough to either throw it to a wide receiver or throw it away or throw it out of bounds. Carson Beck was not fast enough to do that. He still ain't fast enough. He's not fast enough to evade pressure. At the end of the day, that will be his downfall. He's slow, man. He's so fucking slow. I've never seen somebody that slow before. There's fucking 400-pound linemen faster than Carson Beck. It's wild. But yeah, I hope we kind of take it to Texas this Saturday, to be honest. I hope we really put a good SEC Georgia whooping on them. Give them a good old welcome them into our goddamn stadium. Ain't that right? I don't think they've ever played at Stanford Stadium. I don't remember the statistic. Yeah, I don't think they've ever played. They've never played or they've never won. I don't think it's either or, but I don't think they've ever played. I think that was it. Never played at our stadium. You're gonna learn, boy. Hopefully the fans, I won't be going to the game, but hopefully the fans and everybody shows up and gets good and rowdy. Like, shit, dude, that team needs all the help they can get. But yeah, I'm about to head back in and get warm. There's no heat out here. That's the only problem. If I had heat out here, it'd be fucking perfect right now. I hope everybody has a great week and has a great day, great week, and have a great Saturday. Shit. Get some booze, get good and drunk, but not too drunk. You miss the game. Game's gonna be at 7:30 Eastern time. University of Georgia versus the University of Texas. Gunnar Stockton versus Archie Manning. Who will be the better quarterback? And the fucked up thing, will Archie have doubts that maybe I should have went to Georgia instead of taking that paycheck? But anyway, everybody have a great day, great week. Go Dogs. Beat Texas.